Alrighty, YouTube, back at it. As you can see, we have the stand set up with our LEDs sitting on the table here. It's a little bit dirty still. What we're going to do is we're going to head and start building the 6x6, the RC 4-wheel drive Beast 2. Let's see if we can do this. Alright. Kind of a pretty big box. You can see. Get it open. Alrighty, that's what we got going on in it. Here's one of the frame rails. And the other frame rail. We have shocks, 6 of them. 5. Some spacers of some kind. Drive shafts. Some plastic bits. Some more drive shafts. We'll set you over here. Try and get a good angle. Move this top layer. And we got 3 axles. These are actually look like they're the same ones that came on the TF2, just different setup here. I might be wrong. I probably am wrong. So there's the rear one, your middle one with the output, as you can see, 2, and your front one with your steering. You got a solid aluminum front bumper, light pockets for it, a bumper mount of some kind. Now all this stuff is aluminum, so should be pretty good. Shock towers. Beast 2 comes with the 2-speed transmission with a gear. I did have a problem with my transmission in the Trailfinder 2, where it wasn't Loctited together, so I ended up having to tear the whole thing apart and re-Loctite it. So we'll probably do that before we get building. Put that back. Fender covers, maybe? Don't quite know yet. Lift this next layer up. Bed rails. Some kind of cross member. I think that's our spare tire piece. Covered in super glue, or hot glue it looks like. Another aluminum piece. These are inserts for the bed rail, I think. We'll know when we get to the instructions. Get this piece out of the way. Alrighty, so 6 tires. These are the Mil-Spec ZXL by RC 4-wheel drive. They are aluminum bead locks. Bag's tiny. 3-piece. Unfortunately, unlike some of their other models, It appears the hub part is actually inserted already, so we can't change hubs on these wheels, so we'll have to buy the new wheels if we want to change hubs. Set those aside. Like I said, there's 6 of them. They don't give you the spare tire. You do have to order that separately if that's what you're interested in. Appears to be the body. Yep, that's the body. It will have to be built, glued together. There's a lot of it in here. I assume it's glued together. So, set that aside. This bag. All our hardware, all clearly labeled, which is really nice. I do like that they do that. Not appear that it comes with Loctite. Kind of lame, so we'll have to go get some Loctite. Stuff back in the bag real quick, and then next bag. All right, the next bag appears to be more of the chassis. Ooh, there's wipers, chrome bits for the mirrors, more of the frame bits. Set all that aside. That's going to be the floor for the truck. And then our instructions. Let's move the box out of the way. So it's a 1/14 scale. It's the same size as all the Tamiya semi-trucks, which is really nice. It kind of keeps all the semi-truck stuff in line. Recommended tools, tips for assembly. Let's see, that's a breakdown of all our parts that we should have. Looks like they have us assembling the cab. Most of it is glued together, of course, like I was saying. Pretty straightforward there. We'll go back and do that section once we build the truck. So it looks like most of the instructions is for assembly of the truck until we get to steps 22. Oh, there's an addendum. Of course there is. Looks like it's a collar to try and save your drive shafts. So looks pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start on step 43, which is going to be setting up the suspension linkage. So in this video we'll do all the way up to step 52. So we'll start at 43 and go all the way to step 52 because we're going to build the, like I said, we're going to build the frame first. Wait, plastic part. There's a couple spots where they've made an addendum. There's a right here in this corner right here. There is a little note. So just keep an eye out for those. So yeah. So let me pause the video and we'll drag some parts out of the bags and we'll start assembling the axle setup. Has us doing all the axles first. So we'll do that and then we'll build some linkage, attach some parts to the transmission. So bear with me while I get some parts out. Be right back, guys. Alrighty, YouTube, we're back at it. We're building the 6x6 axles right now for the RC 4-wheel drive Beast 2. I've already got some of the parts taken out and set up. This is step assembly 43, as you can see. And this is our cross brace. I've already added our two side rails. These come out of bag 28. All your bags are clearly labeled, which is handy. When we're putting it on, we want to make sure that the nub ends are sticking towards the pinion, like so. And make sure we Loctite everything. And use really nice Allen drivers. So, alright. Get this one started. With the other three started before we go getting too tight. That way we don't have any alignment issues. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and run these down, make them nice and tight. This is where nice Allen drivers come in because you don't want to strip your head of your screw out. And then also Loctite so you don't have to worry about the screw backing out. Alrighty, like that. I already assembled the middle one, which would be our next step. The pages fell right out, so it's super convenient. The middle one, you just got to make sure that you're putting it in correctly. You can see that in the picture right here. It's kind of hard to tell, but they have the ring gear on the left side of the pinion. So just make sure you're assembling with the ring gear on the left side of the pinion. You want to put your arms on over the edge like this. So ring gear left side of pinion, arms going forward, and then you want to put your cross brace with its top nub piece, this guy here, facing the back. So that came in bag 29, and we'll do the rear one because the rear one's really Interesting. I think either they put my cap on wrong, or they sent me the wrong one. I don't know. But in the picture, in the diagram, it shows that the big flat spot, which is where the pinion side is, and then this is your ring gear, and then another flat spot. It shows that it should be like this. But if I build it like this, the blocks are on the bottom, and they need to be on the top. So I'm going to build it like this, and we may end up having to order a different axle. But in order to build that one, these parts come out of bag 21. They just hang over the edge like so, and they're going to get a flathead countersunk instead of a button top. So you want to get that in. Don't cinch it down too tight yet. Get the other side in with the brackets hanging off the back instead of the front. Just for getting Loctite. Okay. And again, the reason we don't cinch these down is because we want to make sure they wiggle, so when we go to put on our front brace, flip the page, which is on step 48. Again, convenient that the page just came loose. The nub goes towards the rear. So, put a little Loctite on. Might be a bit much. Get that one started. This one going. Now that once we got all of them started, we can then cinch them down. Make sure you cinch your countersunk in first, because that'll help align the bracket the way they desire. So, like that. Pretty simple. Alrighty, so we have all of our axles built. That takes us all the way up to step 49, which is building our linkage. So we're going to pause real quick. We're going to get all the linkage out, and we're going to build that. So, be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we're back. I've already built this stack of rods. There's a fair bit you have to build. Just wrapping up the last two here. You can find all the rods in bag 30, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And all the rod ends come in bags 31, 32, 33, and 34. You have... let's see. Mediums, which is just like that. You're gonna have some step off ones like this, and then you're gonna have a couple short ones. Then 90-degree bent ones, or not 90, 45. So those are your rod ends. What I do when I'm doing my rod ends, is I stick all the ones I'm going to be working with on like a driver of some kind, or just a rod that'll fit inside them. And I put all my grub screws in first. You can see all of them go in first. And the reason you do them first is when you're assembling them and you put your grub screw into here first, so you can't get it into the plastic. So you got to make sure you're doing it into the plastic first. So, but makes it real easy. So when you're done, you just put a little Loctite on and twist on the rod that's supposed to go, and set it aside, and you're done. So build this last rod real quick. It just goes like this. Put the Loctite on. And that is as easy as you can get when it comes to doing rod ends. So that's your rod ends. That's every step, or that's all the steps up to 50. 51 is prepping the transmission. 52 is the other half of the transmission. So we'll do those real quick, and then we'll stop there, because then we go into building the frame, which should be pretty fun. So yep. And the pages came out of that book so easily. I just took the pages out and I'm working in them in a stack and moving my stack along. So I'm going to grab the transmission and get the parts ready to prep it, and we'll get the transmission assembled, and that'll be it for this video. So bear with me, guys. One more second. We'll be right back.